Welcome back, team. My name is Eli, and you're watching Journal of Complete Stranger, where, honestly, emotional masculinity is something that you're just going to need to do. In case you hadn't noticed, I have the bearded Zeus with me right now. By the way, I know I shouted him out a couple of times a few weeks ago, but it's a pleasure for you guys to finally meet bearded Zeus. Say hello.
Hello.
So I really hope the name applies. If you don't understand why he's called the bearded Zeus, then you're either blind and or stupid, because look at him. I mean, he's chiseled like a Greek god with one of the most beautiful beards I've ever seen.
If the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is a Greek guy, you got it.
All right, so we had some business that we need to do together today, and before we get started on the video, I need you guys to know that although Trent isn't my business partner, we are going to talk about business partnerships. Now, first, before we get too deep into the video, understand that you're probably seeing like just our faces with a gray blur on the top and a gray blur on the bottom. That's not for added effect. We are both at work. We're both in dress code, and we both want to keep what we do for a living separate from this channel. And I hope you guys can understand, because we're just gonna do it anyway. So the video is gonna be about having effective partnerships. In case I hadn't brought it up before, matter of fact, no. Here's what we're gonna do. I need everybody right now to leave some sort of congratulatory comment below, because the bearded Zeus here just yesterday was promoted to district manager for the company that we work for. So please, everybody, if you're at home alone, stand up, give him a round of applause, but definitely leave a comment down at the bottom. Just like in every other video, I need everybody to watch the video to the very end, because the minute you miss is likely going to have the message that you need. But back to what we're talking about. We're talking about effective leadership. I mean, effective partnerships. Where we work, we have operations management and we have sales management, and one of them can't function without the other, especially in the business that we're in. So with Trent being new to this level of leadership, I don't know if there's, well, I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of stuff he can add, because he's just a funny freaking guy. He adds a lot of value, and I've known him for 13 years. Yeah, he was a little kid when I first met him, and look at him, all godlike and bearded and stuff. But partnerships, right? Like I said a few minutes ago, our business relies on partnerships developed between the operations side of the business and the sales side of the business. And I don't know if most of this message is for him because he's sitting in the car, or most of this message is for you, because once again, we are going to tie masculinity with emotions and relate business partnerships with everyday life. Anything you wanted to say to the people real quick? No? No? All right, cool. Feel free to interrupt me anytime you want, because your input definitely matters. So with the business partnerships that we share with the sales staff, honestly, with my sales management, I'm constantly communicating with them, whether it be over the phone, email, text message, and quite frankly, a lot of our conversations happen outside of work, and without skewing what I do for a living in YouTube, a huge bulk of my support system has been from people from work, from my business partners. Keto, who gets mentioned quite a bit in these videos, is one of my business partners. And funny story, right? So when everything first went down, I don't know if I told you this before, but when everything first happened with my wife, or I don't know, future ex-wife, like this happened at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and one of the first people I called was Keto, and I kind of feel like a dirtbag now, because I called him and it had to have been about 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I asked him, like, hey man, out of curiosity, are we work colleagues or are we friends? I said that to him.
Nice.
And
hopefully he gave you the answer you were looking for right there.
Well, he cussed me out. He said, F you, Eli, you've known me since I was a teenager. If I wasn't your friend, why the hell would I answer the phone for you at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Valid reason.
And that's, honestly, man, that's how these partnerships work out. You'll be shocked at where your support system is going to come from when you start to realize that your business partner is your friend. I mean, you got to think, when you hear partnership in the professional environment, you mostly think about cops, right? I mean, some of the best relationships, or at least, understand, I've never been a cop. They wouldn't have me. I think I'd probably shoot more people than I arrested. But, I base everything I know about cops from, NYPD Blue and Blue Bloods and stuff like that. I mean,
TV shows,
movies. Yeah, I mean, like Bad Boys. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say Bad Boys because the whole Will Smith slap her across the world. Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth. Yeah, that went bad. But Bad Boys. I mean, probably one of the most epic partnerships known to, I guess, the entertainment world. Shaq and Kobe, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. I mean, these partnerships are strong even outside of work. These guys are friends both at work and outside of work. So I guess one of the things that are going to help out, I guess, effective partnerships is going to be friendship. You have to be friends with your partner, and if you don't consider your partner your friend, then you're a dirtbag. You are yet another Eli who has to call for validation and find out if your business partner is your friend. So yeah, I'll be the first to admit that I was a piece of shit for even asking the question. I never said his name this entire time, right? I just kept saying Keto.
I think so.
Okay, cool. So if I accidentally said his name, I'll be sure to edit it out. So, I mean, we know that friendship is important in a partnership at work, but honestly, like, outside of friendship, I guess communication is going to be number 2.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the same steps to developing a friendship are the same ones you would take in a business relationship or partnership. It starts with communicating all the time and talking about anything and everything and just kind of learning each other's mindsets, and that's the beginning stages of it. But ultimately, to have a effective partnership, and then the same thing with friendship, eventually you get to that point where you kind of know the other person's train of thought. So if one goes left, you got to cover their right.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's kind of the same concept of everybody had that friend growing up where they might not even talk to them for 3, 4, or 5 weeks at a time, and then the next time you see them again, you pick right back up where you left off. It's because you understand each other, so you know the thought process. There's been enough communication there where you know each other.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same concept.
Well, no, and then like as far as communication is concerned, like in any relationship, especially with business partnerships, I mean, I don't want anyone to ever believe that just because your business partner is also your friend that you're always going to get along. I mean, there's going to be times where your business partner does something stupid, and it's important that you, I guess, discuss how upset you are with your business partner when it happens. Like once upon a time, Keto and I had a disagreement about one of the stores that we covered, and I think I said something stupid. Like I said something like, "Sorry, Chief, right now that's not my priority." I'm being like Keto told he laid me out right there on the spot and didn't talk to me for about 2 weeks. Like this dude put me on punishment, which is kind of funny, but
yeah, it's sanctioned.
But no, I mean sanctioned. we're not gonna buy your oil. I know we're not here to talk about politics, but we sanctioned the shit out of Russia. Anyway, how did we get? Anyway,
I don't know.
But I mean, he shut me down, and it hurt a lot. You know what I mean? He cut me off for about 2 weeks, and I think that's important. You know, when your business partner or your friend or your partner, just in general, when you do or say something that's hurtful, whether you said it on purpose or not, is it's important. You know, if it gets to a point where they shut you down, you can't just like go that 2 weeks without reaching out to him. And honestly, like I called him attention a couple of times, but he didn't respond. I mean, he legitimately ghosted me like a Tinder date. You know what I mean?
It's understandable to need a little bit of time to maybe collect your thoughts so that you don't say something more harshly than it needs to come across. But at the same time, to cut somebody off for a couple of weeks like that you know you have to work with and build a relationship with anyway, that's still not the right move to make. Even if your thought processes are the same, you're not in agreement on exactly which path you should take. The conversation should continue. It shouldn't stop just because of a disagreement.
Oh yeah. Well, and then like I guess after effective communication, like especially if you botch the relationship up by saying something stupid like your needs aren't my priority right now. When that relationship is
let's face it, that happens sometimes too.
Yeah, but I really should not have said that. Keto, I am so sorry. I know it's been like 6 months, but it's important that I say sorry again in front of whoever's watching this video, which by the way, after like 2.5 weeks, and I know this doesn't sound like a big deal, but like, because you know, you got YouTubers out there with like 2 million views a day. No, it's like
millions.
Just some guy who doesn't advertise his channel, 2.5 weeks, I think I'm at like 380 views. And that's going across like just YouTube or any of the social media outlets. And then that doesn't count when people like share the video completely without them having to click on the link and it brings it back to YouTube. So that's pretty cool. But like, so I guess after communication, there's that whole, you gotta have that bond, you know what I mean? And part of the bond is making up that damaged portion of the relationship. Like, finally when Keto started talking to me again, I had to make sure that he felt like he was a priority in some of the decisions that I made with what we were disagreeing about. We're not going to get into too much detail because again, some of you know where I work and we're not going to do that. But I guess the action I took, or the gesture, had to be grand. It had to be just like this huge to-do to make sure that I did what he was asking me to do the first time, only like times 150%.
Right.
Like, and if you don't know what I did, you can call him and ask him what happened.
On it.
But I mean, that grand gesture is absolutely necessary to make up for the mistake that was made. So, and that's pretty cool that, you know, we knocked all 3 points out just as we're pulling up at the next location. But yeah, those 3 things, and then after, well, you know, we'll just keep filming in the car because we gotta do the link. We gotta tie this to emotions and all that other stuff. And let me get out of the way of this van who doesn't know how to pull out of a parking space. They drive for a living. I don't care what they do. They drive. It's what they do. Yeah, I know how to back out of. Well, we don't back. Listen, for those of you that park unsafely, you back into parking spaces so you can pull out straight. Oh, and this effing turd thing. All right, so what does business partnership have to do with your everyday life? So with those same 3 points, I mean, we got the fact that there needs to be a friendship between partners. We got open communication. We have the bond that you need to renew every once in a while with the gestures. So I mean, I know you guys are probably tired of hearing me tie these masculine things with you know, the emotional nature of we go through every single day. But I mean, if you think about this for just a second, a business partnership is very similar to relationship partnerships, right? I mean, I'd say that the most important partnership there is the relationship at home, like whether it be your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, something long term. I mean, it's a partnership. Two of you rely on each other for everything. I mean, shoot, you got kids. You know what I mean? So tying it together, guys, if you're not friends with your wife or your girlfriend, if you're not communicating everything, even like the tough shit that you don't want to talk to your wife about, like how many of you guys have ever choked down some burnt fried chicken and didn't say a thing? That's not love. That's you not communicating with your wife for fear of conflict. Like you have to be able to talk to your partner about everything, even the stuff that doesn't make you happy, or you end up like, what is it, 52% of all marriages?
Something like that.
Dude, you gotta, yeah, but you got to communicate everything, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. When you break that bond of communication between you and your significant other, then your wife or your girlfriend is no longer going to feel safe talking to you about anything. And then once they stop feeling comfortable talking to you, stop feeling safe about talking to you about their innermost thoughts, the relationship's over. It's over. And if you're in a situation where your wife or your girlfriend just for whatever reason, and it's a shame that it happens more frequently than not, where they're holding on to every single one of these feelings, and then they never tell you about it. You have to bring it up, and by the time you bring it up, because you haven't really been in sync and you didn't even realize it was a problem, and it's over. Now here's the beauty part, I guess, with re-solidifying that bond. I guess that's what, point number 3. If you're not willing to do that grand gesture to repair that relationship, whether it be a business partnership or your partnership at home, then that relationship was never meant to be. Just know that if you commit to that grand gesture and it means absolutely nothing to your business partner or your partner at home, then either A, it's too late, or B, your partner wasn't worth the effort. That one kind of stung. I'm glad that one came off the top of the head, because I can't be held liable for writing that down and then reading it off a piece of paper. Which, by the way, we were just talking about it a few minutes ago. I know I put it in a previous video where I said once somebody commented on how, oh, we can tell when your videos are scripted, because I think the exact words they used was trash when I script a video. Apparently, if we come up with stuff off the top of our head, then it's better content, whatever. Because I mean, literally, before we hit the record button, we knew that this was going to be all about partnership, but we didn't have those 3 points planned out. Like, we knew we were going to talk about communication, and that's it. We just hit the button and started going. And I think what did it was the cream puff man, the marshmallow man. Yeah, after he said that, I was like, yeah, we're also going to talk about friendships and repairing bonds. So this video is getting pretty long. We're already at 19 minutes and some change. I know I try to keep videos under 25 minutes, so we'll keep this one under 25 minutes. I'm going to drop him off. He's here to pick up his company car, and then we'll do some closing thoughts. I'll see y'all in a bit. All right, team. It's 5:45 in the morning from the day that I shot the video yesterday. A bunch of stuff happened yesterday after I got home from work, so I wasn't able to finish the video about partnerships, which is very fortunate, because during my marriage counseling session with the wife, I'm good with that name. She's gonna be gone. She's gonna be known as the wife for every video, no matter what our relationship status is. She's always going to be the wife. And I apologize for the casual dress. I realized what I wanted to say for closing statements in the middle of a workout, hence no shirt, but you know, anyone who wants to get a peek of my progress, there you go. So let's talk about partnerships. Partnerships are the most important, most vital aspect of life. Whether it be a business partnership or a friendship or a relationship, partnerships are very important. The basis of all great partnerships is going to be the baseline of friendship, the solidification of communication, and the willingness to put an effort to strengthen that bond. In that particular order. You can't be partners with anybody unless they're first your friend. You can't expect to solidify that friendship without communication, good, bad, or ugly. And you can't expect that relationship to last unless you're willing to put in the effort to solidify that bond. Whether it be me that caused the failure in my partnership with my wife, whether it be her fault that the relationship is over, is completely irrelevant. She and I are both warriors. Doesn't matter how the conflict started. As long as during this conflict, I look over to my left and she's still there, whether it be as a partner, a friend, or whether we have that bond, is irrelevant. We will go through this fight together. I know it seems like every video goes back to the warrior's mentality, but the warrior's mentality is a must. You've just watched another episode of Journal of a Complete Stranger. My name is Eli. I'll see you next time.